This build is all about dual wielding fast thrusting weapons while incorporating parries and spells into our combos. We build up power through consecutive attacks and ripostes, and then unleash that power through powerful spells. If you haven't yet gotten the memo, let me spell it out for you. Get it? Spell it out? I like deep and complex playstyles. I'm never content just relying on one weapon art or something like that. I'm not the most skilled player, not even close really, but I really appreciate just how high the ceiling is for skill expression in this game. And in that sense, it's very hard to top this build. Our weapons of choice are the Carian Sorcery Sword and the Mangosh Dagger. And we're actually able to dual wield these together like if they were both thrusting swords. The Carian Sorcery Sword is a thrusting sword, capable of casting spells with its heavy attack. And the possibilities when using this are just insane. You have access to a huge catalog of sorceries that you can incorporate into your combos. You could use melee attacks as combo starters or combo finishers. You could use projectile attacks to deal damage from a distance, maintain stance damage, or clear multiple enemies at once. Or you could even use some of the most powerful show-stopping spells, with some caveats for these ones. The Carian Sorcery Sword is obviously not the best catalyst for casting spells, but the versatility it offers by being its own melee weapon can't be understated. Our other weapon, the Mangosh, is a dagger that can be dual wielded with thrusting swords. We're using it as a parry tool. The main game had something similar going on with the Wakizachi, which was a dagger that could be dual wielded with full-sized katanas. It had the same function of acting as a parrying tool, while giving you access to the bar stancing moveset of the katanas. But the obvious problem with it was the fact that it would always have less range and damage than a regular katana. The Mangosh, though, does not have that problem. And that's because the bar stancing moveset for thrusting swords completely prioritizes the right-handed weapon for some reason. It's almost like it was designed with this weapon in mind, which is weird because this is a DLC weapon. This of course sucks for anyone that actually wants to use two thrusting swords, but it's perfect for us. We get access to this very quick moveset without any drawbacks. Now here's a fun story. The way I came up with this build is that while checking the wiki for this weapon, I found quite a few comments saying that this has as many parrying frames as the buckler, or even more in one instance. I was dumbfounded. Thinking that this has a parrying window as small as the other daggers was why I never used it to begin with. But now with the knowledge that this weapon has as many parrying frames as one of the best parrying tools in the game, made it so that I just couldn't resist using it. And so I tried it. And they were right. Although I had never used parries too much, parrying with this felt very intuitive and very rewarding. It felt like this entire new world of possibilities was now open to me. Parrying enemies and bosses became second nature to me. Well, of course, it turned out that they were wrong. When testing it, just to make sure, it turned out that I was right all along. This has the same parrying frames as any other dagger. But these stupid comments gaslit me into getting good with parrying. And I loved it. And you should try it too. For talismans, we use both consecutive attack talismans to boost our damage. And the best thing about these is that although most spells can't proc the effect from them, they are boosted by them. And so we can build up damage buffs using our melee attacks and use them to get more damage on our next spell. I also used the Graven Mass Talisman for more sorcery damage, and the Blade of Mercy, which gives us a 20% damage bonus on a riposte. For what spells to use, Carian Slicer is a very obvious option, and it will be your bread and butter. I like to use this as either a combo starter or a combo finisher. For example, if you're going for a running attack, casting this is much better than using your weapons for it, and you can continue with your combo afterwards. As a combo ender, I use it after the first attack or the second one, and it is shorter than going for the next attack in the combo, so you get just a little bit more damage in before backing out. You could also use it to dish out tons of damage during a long opening. Did I mention that this is one of the only spells that proc the consecutive attack talismans? Because it is, and it's not the only one. Another spell that does that is the Gavel of Haima. This is a stronger but slower spell that you can use for bigger openings. Another spell that does that is Carian Piercer, which does some pretty good damage and stance damage from a distance. These spells can also be used to widen your melee moveset, but these are the ones I'm using. Other spells I like to use are the Magic Blade Blade and Great Blade Phalanx to get some good damage and stance damage at the beginning of the fight. For Physick tiers, I like to use the Magic Shrouded Crack tier for more magic damage, and the Thorny Crack tier is an obvious second choice. But I've been experimenting a lot with the Cerulean Stabbing Crack tier, which restores 5 FP on every melee hit. We don't exactly have the biggest FP bar, and so this is actually very useful for us. It contributes to the gameplay loop of us maybe casting a few spells at the beginning of a fight, regaining FP and building on power by fighting in melee, and then casting spells again, without ever breaking our momentum by drinking a flask. I mean, look at this moment where I run out of FP, do a melee combo to get more FP, and finished up the combo with a Carian Slicer. Pretty cool, I think. Did I mention that Carian Slicer can itself recover FP through this? And it costs 4 FP, meaning that it's not just self-sustaining, but it actually recovers you 1 FP per cast. Of course, there's a caveat, and it is that this Physick doesn't last 3 minutes like the rest of them. It only lasts 45 seconds, but it's still a very great boost for us. For the look, I have the altered version of the Carian Knight armor, the Carian Knight gauntlets, and Rellana's greaves. This is my favorite build so far, and it's not even close. Hey everyone, I hope you liked this video. Please like, share and come on! This video is part of a series where I make builds just like this one. Usually the videos have 3 builds each, but I like this one so much that I thought I'd give it more of a chance to be seen. You can find links to the first 4 videos in this series in the description, and well, bye!